I've seen so many videos out there right now showing you how you can market in 2026, and it's just random tactics that don't really bring that many results. And after having spoken with many service businesses myself and having interviewed photographers, real estate agents, even authors, we have a pretty good context of what actually works in 2026 and in general. So in this video, I'm going to show you 6 strategies that determine whether you actually get a call booked or a meeting booked or whatever it is that counts as a conversion for you, or if you get skipped. So first thing I want to bring to your attention is that 80% of customers hire whoever responds first. The average service business responds in 4 to 6 hours. We have this article that I found that basically says this. There's a 5 minute rule according to a Harvard business study that says that companies that respond to leads within 5 minutes are 100 times more likely to make contact than those that wait 30 minutes. Now, if you put that into context of an average business, it usually takes 4 to 6 hours. 78% of customers buy from the first business to respond. And after 5 minutes, lead quality drops 80%. And that's according to Harvard Business Review. Tell me if this sounds familiar. So, competitors with worse work are getting jobs that should be yours. You're spending money on marketing that produce nothing, and you're getting tire kickers who are calling 5 companies and picking the cheapest option. You have sometimes slow months wondering where the next job is coming from, and the other months are too busy to think about this, to think about marketing and promoting yourself. And I did a interview with a photographer, and she basically said this, that the months that she's busy, she doesn't care that much about marketing because, well, she's focusing on delivering the client work, right? And then other months are not as busy. That's when she actually focuses on marketing. And this is not really the best approach if you ask me, because some months are inconsistent, and that's because marketing is not prioritized. So, if you want to be a service business that wins in 2026, you really want to prioritize your marketing. Quick info about me. I'm Sab. I'm the head of marketing at WebLingo, and we work with service businesses to help them, with their website. We do consulting. We basically work with service businesses and help them make a lot more money and have more efficient businesses, basically. Let me show you the first strategy that you can implement today, and that's local search dominance. So, the first thing I want to introduce is your Google business profile. And if you've watched our other videos, you've probably heard me talk a lot about this. It's what makes or breaks your natural SEO, I would say. Some of the traits of an incomplete profile. So, profile that you likely have. Now, you probably have 3 services listed, and in reality, you do 10. You have 1 city listed, but you cover 5 of them. If you work in one town, maybe that's the only listing that you have. But if you service multiple locations, it makes sense to also list those in your Google business profile. If you just have for your media, in terms of your GBP media, you have just your logo upload. You probably have a generic description of your business. You probably have not that many reviews and they're bland. So it's just very basic stuff like Sarah was very responsive or excellent work, highly recommend. Those aren't really that good of reviews. If you compare that to a complete profile, which I'll get to in a second, you'll understand what it is that actually makes a GBP profile actually stand out. And the last thing that you probably have in your profile is that you're invisible in category searches. A complete profile has a full services list. So it talks about literally every single job that you offer. Then all of your coverage areas are listed. In the photos section, you have real photos of your work, before and afters. You have customer testimonials. You have lots of detailed reviews, and this is very important. If you have recent reviews and they're very detailed, results oriented, your business profile is just naturally going to rank higher than your competitors. It ranks properly for services that you actually do. Let me tell you about reviews as a ranking and conversion signal. Now, in this article, Small Business Marketing in 2025, only 35% of small businesses have a Google business profile. And let me tell you, when we did audits of websites for potential leads, we saw that even less businesses had a Google business profile. I'm thinking maybe 5 to 10% actually focused on it, which is honestly crazy. That just shows that your competition is doing so much less while getting more jobs. So if you do this, you're going to just naturally stand out to your potential leads. 7 out of 10 leads and potential visitors won't consider you below 4 stars. 1/3 of consumers now need 4.5, and 3/4 only look at reviews from the last 3 months. So your reviews need to be very detailed. They need to be up to date. Your review stars need to be at least 4.5, if not 5 stars. And 90% of people would hire a business that responds to reviews. So you need to make sure every single review you get, you respond to them. And less than half of consumers would hire a business that doesn't respond to a review. And this is all from this article, Bright Local. Then let's talk about Google Local Service ads. These are ads that appear above all other Google results. You want to make sure you're paying per lead, not per click, because that's what actually matters when you're buying media. From the rough numbers that we've estimated, HVAC leads are about $80 a lead, plumbing is $70, and cleaning are $28 a lead. Local service ads capture over 50% of leads in eligible industries. So if you have the money to afford on ads, I highly suggest you do. And keep in mind that you want to spend at least $100 a day. So if you can afford $3,000 a month on this, that's great. The next strategy that I'd like to tell you is conversion infrastructure. 99 out of 100 visitors leave without doing anything. The 3 questions every visitor asks in the first 5 seconds of visiting your site are: do you do what I need? Do you serve my area? And how do I contact you right now? And if you don't give those 3 explanations right off the bat, they're gonna bounce off of your site. What most sites get wrong, they keep their phone number in only their footer. There's no service area above the fold, so you don't say which city you serve in. Your contact form is buried 3 scrolls down. There's no indication of availability or response time. There's no video on the homepage. It's hard to understand what your actual unique selling points are, and navigation feels like an escape room. If you take over 3 seconds to load on mobile, over 50% of visitors leave before seeing anything. And we made our last video on this, if you want to check it out, to see how you can speed up your website. Now, your site is being compared to 2 others at the same time. Speed to lead. This is another aspect of conversion infrastructure. 80% of people hire whoever responds first. If you respond within 5 minutes, you're 20 times more likely to book than businesses that wait 30 minutes. After 5 minutes, your odds fall off a cliff, as I told you before. Now, the website creates the opportunity, and the response determines whether you capture it. So you need to make sure you respond to all of your leads as soon as possible. Then we have the next strategy, which is your reputation system. Displaying reviews on your website increases purchases by 67%. So if you're not including customer testimonials, video reviews, even screenshots of your Google reviews here, you are missing out on a lot of potential leads who just simply don't trust you. And pages with 5+ reviews convert at 270% higher than pages that don't have the reviews. So we have the data, we've tested it, and these numbers are actually insane if you really think about it, because adding reviews to your homepage doesn't take that much work and it converts so many more visitors. So there's no reason for you not to do that. Where do you put the proof? So first of all, you need to put it above the fold close to the call to action. Then you need to put it next to the contact form. You want to include proof in follow up texts. So let's say someone reached out to you, you responded to them, and then they left you unseen. Now, the next follow up text that you send them, you want to include some customer result or case study or testimonial. You don't want to just outright say, we did this work for Bob. Like, you want to just include maybe some subtle hints of social proof. You can be creative with this. You don't want to sound like a robot. Then you want to include proof, of course, in your ad copy. If you're running ads, if you send estimate emails, you want to add proof, of course, in your proposals. And of course, social proof belongs in your Google business profile and social media, which I'll get to soon. 90% of people would hire a business that responds to reviews. The response is not for the person who left it, it's for everyone who reads it next. Next up is referral engineering. And this is another strategy that I kind of don't see that often. And the people that do use it are kind of gatekeeping it. So here's how it works: 83% of satisfied customers are willing to refer, but only 29% of them actually do. Now, let's say you had 100 happy clients, only 29 of them will refer simply because you're not reminding them. Referrals outperform every other channel because they convert 3 to 5 times higher than any other source. Referred customers are 4 times more likely to refer others. They close faster and they push back less on price. They have a 37% higher retention rate than other acquired customers. And that's because these people already trust the people who referred them. If their friend referred them to you, they trust their friend. And you are already approved and they like you, they trust you, and they know you. There are two ways you can get referrals. You can just simply ask for referrals at the right moment. So when your job is completed, the right person who expressed satisfaction and in the right channel. So directly, right after you did the job, or a specific request. The next way you can get referrals is through a partner network. This is part of a concept called the Dream 100. And we really talk about this in our consulting calls because the Dream 100 is one of the most underrated ways of getting these large clients and large deals without having to constantly post on social media or even update a lot of stuff. Some of the people you can include in this referral network are complementary businesses, for example. These people have the same customers as you. And the thing is, you need to give them a reason to refer you. They're not happy customers, they just serve the same people that you do. So you want to make sure that you're adding something of value to them and you actually give them a reason to refer you. Maybe you do some free work for them. The next strategy is customer retention. $36 to $42 on average is returned for every single dollar spent on email. And it's the highest ROI of any marketing channel. Basically, every other channel that you use is rented. Google changes your algorithm in terms of SEO or Google business profile. Boom, your traffic is gone. Yelp buries your listing. Boom, traffic is gone. If your meta ads stop working or they cost more money, if your content doesn't get shown as much, your traffic is gone again. But what you already have are hundreds of past clients in your software. Most businesses went silent the second the invoice was paid or the job was finished. Here's the math. Keeping a customer costs a fraction of finding a new one. Repeat customers spend more per job, and referrals from them close faster and push back on price less. What I found with most service businesses is that instead of focusing all of their attention on acquiring new traffic, they often overlook their existing customers and their existing network. You just need to be a bit creative with this. And then the last strategy, strategy six, is authority content. And we've noticed that 3/4 of consumers watch a video when evaluating a local business. So it works because you're not really selling a product, you're asking someone to trust you. A homeowner who watched 3 of your videos does not negotiate on price the way a completely cold lead does. They've already decided they like you. When people are evaluating local business, 37% of them look them up on Instagram, and if it's a younger crowd, they look them up on TikTok. Content keeps working after you make it, and most of your competitors don't make any videos. Maybe they made a couple videos a few years ago, but that's it. If you're actively posting content, behind the scenes, authority stuff, it's basically free traffic and free leads if you position it correctly. One video puts you ahead of the majority of your market. And look, every strategy here has an implementation layer that the video doesn't cover. So in this video, I showed you the 6 strategies that you can implement right now. But if you want to go a step deeper and understand how to actually execute this, we have a private email list. And all you need to do is just put your name and your email and then confirm. And every single day, you're going to receive one email written personally by me on how you can execute each of these strategies and more completely for free. So if you want to get an email every single day with strategies, with actionable stuff, results and case studies from our existing clients, and stuff that they did to make more money, the link is in the description. It's the first link, it's the only link. Click on it, sign up, and I'll see you inside.